Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm going to do something I haven't done in quite some time, and that is I'm going to share my Nightblade build. The reason why I haven't shared it in a while is because, well, my guildmates have requested me not to. They said that they don't want to have to fight a bunch of mini-me's out there, but I've been using this build for a while now. I used it to get my Emperorship in 0 star. If you were to view that video, you'll see me wearing it at the end of the clip. I was also wearing it when I published a video the other day. You can tell by just looking at my stats; they correlate well with the stats you'll see in this video. But I decided I'm gonna make this video, and I got my guild's permission because people are starting to catch on. People are starting to make this build on their own. So I figure I'm not introducing too many things new to the world now. So I'm making this build video. It's going to be a pretty in-depth build video. I'm going to explain the strategies I use against certain opponents. I'm going to give my rationale behind the certain abilities I use and the gear, etc. I'll go through the item sets real fast for people who aren't interested in strategies. They're only interested in C and numbers. So I use Master Weapons, Bow, and Greatsword. I use 2-piece Troll King, 5-piece Bone Pirate, and I use the Agility set. And then comes the abilities. I use Endcap, Rally, Ambush, Relentless Focus, Asteria, Surprise Attack, Ballista, Resolve Vigor, not Equilibrium, Shuffle. You'll see why I had that there in a bit. Siphoning Attacks, Dark Cloak, Poison Injection. Stone I use is Warrior. Drink I use is Dubious and Cameron Throne. Drink I use is Restore Health, Stamina, and Increase Weapon Crit. Alright, now for more depth and explanation. Alright, so I use the Master's Greatsword. You can use the Maelstrom Greatsword if you want to. Both of which provide the same passive, which is the 189 weapon damage. You can use either or Nightblade because you use Ambush. You don't use Crit Rush. If you use Crit Rush, then I recommend the Maelstrom Greatsword due to its enchant. I use the Master's Bow. I use the Master Bow because it has unique enchantment that increases your weapon damage by 361. Sorry, not by 361. It says 361 here because I have Infuse. Infuse is a solid trait and increases the enchantment a little bit more. However, I recommend using Defending over Infuse. I haven't gotten Defending one yet. That's why I'm using this over, instead of a Defending one. But I have a precise version of this, and I've tested it. And having Infused versus having any other trait, increases the damage to surprise attack by 50 points. It's not significant. It's not worth it in my opinion. It's better to have something that provides more utility, and that would be defending, because defending will at least make you tankier whenever your shadow barrier isn't active at a distance. Troll King. I use Troll King because I'm a Nightblade. If I'm using my Stamplar, if I'm using my DK, if I'm using my Stamp Sork, I'm not using Troll King. DKs and Templars, they have major mending. Increasing their damage overall increases their health, their healing. If you major defile them, all you do is just make them normal. Okay, their healing is still going to be good. Stampblades don't have that luxury. If you're Stamp Sork, you don't have strong heals, you have a lot of heals. You have Dark Deal, Crit, you have Crit Surge, you have Rally, and you have Vigor. I mean, yes, everyone has Rally and Vigor, but they have those 2 additional heals. And then Dark Deal is actually fantastic for resource management as well. So they don't need Troll King. The Nightblade, I think we do need Troll King. It gives us the one piece is 2% healing done, which, you know, will be big, will be deal, not a big deal. 2-piece, that's the where this set comes in. It increases your health regen by 1548 for 10 seconds. That means from this set alone, you get 1,548 health every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. All right, it's pretty much like a little like a vigor going off on you, just about. It's fantastic. All right. Let's see. For the 2-piece set, I recommend having 1 heavy and 1 medium. That's in order to give you 2% extra stats due to the Undaunted passive, and then you get an additional 2% max health due to the heavy armor passive. I recommend every piece in pin. All right. I have 1 piece that's in well fitted. That's because I haven't got an in pin. That's why this is well fitted. The Golden Vendor has given me nothing but Troll King helmets. I have yet to get a Troll King shoulder. When that thing goes on sale, I'll have all in pin. Till then, I have one piece well fitted. Alright, Bone Pirate. This is what this set does. It does max stam, stam recovery, max stam, and we have a drink active, which is what the dubious Cameron Throne drink is. It increases your max stam by 2,000 and stam recovery by 300. This is fantastic for resource management. If you're in a 0-star, I mentioned earlier I used the Warrior Stone, but in 0-star you may want to consider the Serpent Stone. If you can handle the Warrior Stone, I say stick with that. But if you're struggling with resource management, it's better to have stamina than damage. That's what I would say, because if you run out of stamina, you're not only doing no damage, but you're gonna die very, very quickly. Okay, so that's my suggestion. If you can handle the Warrior Stone, then sure, keep it. You know, just it's all based upon you. All three pieces of this agility set are robust, and they all have weapon damage enchants. All right. Let's see. The reason why I went with Warrior over something like Thief or Shadow is because in PvP, here's the thing: the crit damage is fantastic. Majority of the players, I would say, you'll melt them with crit, with having great amount of crit, you know. But I'm not after the let's say the average or below average players. I'm prepared for the most talented players. And the most talented players are going to have a lot of pen, a lot of crit resistance, and all that crit damage isn't going to be as great as think it is. And not only that, wearing the setups that I am using, your weapon crit isn't going to be any higher than like 50%, and that 50% is with minor and major savagery active. Okay, so that's why. I have 64 points into stamina. I'm a Nord, and I recommend using a Nord because you get 6% max stam. Not as good as 10% for Red Guard of Imperial, but still pretty solid. You get 9% max health, something a Red Guard does not have, but not as good as an Imperial. So why use Nord or Imperial then? Because Nords gives you the 6% mitigation, which is fantastic in PvP. When Battle Spirit is applied to your abilities, it cuts your damage in half. And the damage your character receives, you take 6% less of that damage. So it's almost like 12% mitigation when you think about it. In PvE, 6%, not a big deal. PvP, a little more impactful. Not only that, 20% more health recovery is great for this setup because with Troll King and a potion active, you have 3k health recovery. That's fantastic. That's like a tank. You know what I'm saying? And this is in medium armor. Let's see. Just to clarify, this is the only scroll we have. I'm in Skull Corruption right now. So just increase your spell power 5%, not a big deal. It's not going to affect the stats you see here. There's no imp buff, so I'm on my bow bar. My health is usually a little higher than that. So I don't have the extra health due to emperorship or anything like that. So this is pretty much the bare minimum you're looking at here as far as stats goes. Now the strategies behind the abilities. Let me start on with 2H bar. End cap, I recommend using end cap against light and medium armor opponents. The reason being, it hits pretty decently hard. A lot of people whine about it because they get ganked by it, and honestly, there's more powerful moves that get ganked by. But nonetheless, it's still a powerful move. It increases your damage by 20% for 6 seconds afterwards, and it causes major defile, reducing your opponent's healing by 30% afterwards for 6 seconds. I don't recommend using against tanks, and I'll tell you what I do use against tanks in a moment here. Rally. I use Rally over 4 momentum because I'm a Nightblade. If I was a class that had major mending, I would get more than enough healing from Vigor, and you can use something like 4 momentum, which will make you immune to snares and roots. But as a Nightblade, I recommend using Rally. It's a great burst heal every 15 seconds. It synergizes very well with Cloak, and so that's why I recommend that. For people who don't know, it does a heal over time. It has a scaling burst heal. It's pretty weak if you spam it, but if you wait like 15 seconds, it's a pretty strong burst heal, and increases your weapon damage by 20% for 33 seconds. Ambush. This is the gap closer you can use as Nightblade. Reason being is because, for one, it allows great combinations because it empowers your next damaging attack by 20%. Not only that, but it's also immune to roots, if that's a proper way to describe it. It doesn't make you immune to roots, but you can use it while rooted. If that makes sense. Alright, let's focus. This is going to increase your stamina regen by 10%, your damage output by 8%, and after 4 light attacks, you activate a move called Spectral Bow. And for a free cast, it does a massive amount of damage. Now, I recommend front barring this because if you're properly light attack weaving, you're going to activate this quite often. When you don't have an ultimate ready, you're going to use this in your rotation. When you do have an ultimate ready, you're going to use it in conjunction with your ultimate in order to create additional bursts. Okay. Mass Hysteria, great CC, probably one of the best in the game, if not the best. You pretty much fear 3 enemies that's around you. Be warned, if they're outside of hugging distance, you're probably going to miss them. So make sure you're close to your opponent when you use this ability. It snares them by 53% for 4 seconds after the fact, and it does minor maim. So this is important. End cap knocks your opponent down, but my recommendation to you is to CC them with Mass Hysteria, because at least then you have some additional mitigation for 4 seconds out of 7 seconds of that CC cooldown. Alright, let's see, surprise attack, pretty strong, class spammable. It causes major fracture, which will increase your damage output by around 8%. Excuse me. It also activates Shadow Barrier, which increases your damage mitigation by 8%. Alright. Now, here's the issue. This makes it so you're tanky as long as you're being aggressive. If you're on the defense, that means you're not using surprise attack, and that means that Shadow Barrier is not active, which means you're going to get hit for much harder than you would normally. Popular combination people like to do with a Nightblade is the ambush to end cap. If you're an experienced player, you know about this combination. So my recommendation to you is if you see if you get ambushed by Nightblade, hold block. This is going to do 2 things, okay? For one, if they're doing ambush to end cap, you're going to block the end cap. If they're doing ambush to Mass Hysteria to end cap, which is what you should be doing, you already have 1 finger on the trigger, okay? If you're console, that's what I'm talking about. For console, you use block and the light attack button in order to break free. So you need to hit L2 and R2 anyways if you're on the PS4 in order to break free. So this does half the job. You see that Mass Hysteria, immediately hit R2 in order to break free. Okay? So with that said, if you're doing the ambush to Mass Hysteria to end cap, learn how to animation cancel. Block canceling, especially with this combination, because this is the animation for Mass Hysteria. If you do the full animation and then you do end cap, you know what's going to happen? They're going to CC break and block your end cap. Or if they're medium armor, they're going to dodge your end cap. So that's why you don't want to do it. So my recommendation is get good at block casting. So as soon as you hit Mass Hysteria, hit block. It'll look like this. You see? Doing that will save time. Now you use your end cap. Block cancel that too. You get good at this combination and you'll successfully land that combo more often. Alright? Also, don't use a Spectral Bow immediately afterwards. I know a lot of people like to do ambush, Mass Hysteria, end cap, Spectral Bow, because yeah, it does the most damage. But here's the thing: if you're going against a talented player, they know what end cap is. They know, hey, my healing sucks and your damage is great right now. Therefore, I'm going to play evasive / defensive. If you try to do that combination followed by a Spectral Bow, if you're going against anyone with Liquid Talent, they're going to dodge that Spectral Bow. My suggestion to you is use a Spectral Bow first, then end cap them. That way you guarantee you get that burst damage. And now that's 2 burst damage back to back. Spectral Bow down to 80%. End cap, say, down to 60%, you know? Now you start doing the light attacks, price attack weaves, you're hammering down their health. You have poison injection on them because you should in order to activate the weapon damage buff from the Master's Bow. And so they have that large tick damage, just, you know, hacking away their health. That's how you do it. Alright. So let me go to my bow bar. Poison injection, this is going to keep the Master Bow enchant constantly active. Dark Cloak. Okay. Let me say right now, don't be a ganking Nightblade. That's bad. That's a trashy thing to do. Okay? Just don't. Bad. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, this is how you use Cloak. Cloak is used, or should be used in my opinion, as a means to recover from a massive dot So if you get hit by Dawnbreaker, it's good to use because it indicates the dot damage of Dawnbreaker. It's a great way to escape. If you're getting hit too hard, you're going to lose this fight unless you do something evasive. Use Dark Cloak. And the way I primarily use it, mind camping Sorks. Now, here's the thing. With Surprise Attack, you activate Shadow Barrier. If you're fighting a Sork, they're surrounded by their mines. You can't use Surprise Attack on them the way you want to, which means you don't have Shadow Barrier up. That means you're going to take more damage because you don't have as much defense. Alright, so what you do is before you ambush in there and die from their mines, you're going to hit Dark Cloak, and then you're going to hit Vigor. By doing this, Dark Cloak is going to activate your Shadow Barrier passive, and it's going to give you minor protection, reducing damage taken by 8%. This is going to make it so you can survive those mines. And with Vigor active, and then Troll King most likely going to proc, you're going to keep your health up. It's going to allow you to get in there and be aggressive, okay? Putting them on the defense. Don't let up. You let up, they become comfortable again, and they start going on the offensive again, okay? Siphoning attacks, this is going to be your main means of resource management. It's going to keep your magicka up, and it's also going to help keep your stamina up. Shuffle, major evasion, okay. It's 50% chance to RNG dodge. I'm not a big fan of that effect in the game, but it's here. That's what it is. But it's mainly good due to the immunity to snares and roots, which that's going to be pretty much borderline necessary against a Mag DK, because they're just going to spam roots like there's no tomorrow. Alright. Alright, so Resolve Vigor. This is the best stam heal in the game. That's why I use it. This is the move that kills tanks, okay? So, if you're fighting a heavy armor Mag DK, this is the most extreme strategy because they're not only tanky, but they are annoying as can be when it comes to roots and CCs. This is what you want to do. You want to make sure the poison injected. You want to make sure that you have your Spectral Bow ready to fire. And you want to make sure that you have CC immunity. So wait for them to fossilize you. And then, when you break free, you have that immunity, you shuffle. It's going to prevent the roots, which means it's going to prevent you from being minor maimed. Use Spectral Bow to get a nice chunk of the health away. Use Mass Hysteria. Use the Ballista. Now, if you prefer, I say that combination because it just flows better. Because, let's look real fast. Spectral Bow, Mass Hysteria, Weapon Swap, Ballista, Weapon Swap, Light Attack, Surprise Attack, with the Poison Injection dot on them, as well as the Ballista Bow constantly firing. It's almost a guaranteed kill. Definitely recommend doing that combination. Reason why I don't suggest it against medium armor users especially. They're going to dodge the crap out of this move. That's why you don't use it. Heavy armor, they don't have the cost reduction for dodging. Therefore, if they do go that route, they're going to be easy pickings for the remainder of the fight. Alright? So that's why I recommend that. Alrighty. I think I covered the strategy as one to cover. Champion system, Hunter to Warlord. I like to do a lot of these one-pointers just because it's the most bang for your buck. 1 point equals 1%. 58 Mooncalf, 1 healthy. 39 to Tumbling, 1 blessed. 48 Shattering Blows, a lot of max works out there. It's going to help you get through the shield. 1 here. 48 into Piercing, help with those heavy tanky heavy armor builds. 100 to Mighty because you use primarily burst damage. 30 resistant to make you more defensive against crit damage. Also activates this passive here, increasing your spell and physical resistance by 660 for 3 seconds after dodge rolling. 83 into Hardy and Elemental Defender. Both stam and magic hits pretty hard, so they both get equal treatment. 3 Thick Skin, that's going to help you defend against Soul Assaults, Rain Destruction, stuff like that. And 1 point quick recovery. Alrighty. Anyways, I hope this build's been informing. Let me show you my stats real fast, but it looks like we have everything procced. And this is why I had Equilibrium up. So let me cast that until I'm almost dead. By the way, this in conjunction with Ravage Health Potion is great for blood spawning in PvP. Pro tip. Okay. And there you go. So you're looking at 3k health recovery with the Troll King, 2347 stamina recovery, or 37,000 health, or 24,000, or 37,000 stamina, or 24,000 health, 11,000 magicka, 50% weapon crit, 3,500 weapon damage, and 2281 crit resistance. If I had a impinged shoulder, that'd be over 2,500. Alrighty. Anyways, guys, I hope this has been informing. If you have any questions, please ask in the comment section below, and I'll put a video link in the description showing this build in action. Alright, take care.